Hey everybody, we are back at it. We have got some meat chickens that are in the shed, and I built a brooder for them, and I want to show you exactly how we take care of our chicks because it's springtime. It's about that time. Chicks are coming out in Tractor Supply, so let's go to them. Alrighty, so I've been really busy the past couple of days building this brooder, and it's a really simple brooder, and I'm gonna tell you all about it so you can make sure that you have your chicks set up exactly perfectly right. So this brooder is pretty big. We have anywhere between 25 to 30 chicks in here, and we're probably gonna get up to about 50 chicks later on this year because we want some more egg laying chickens. And right now we have Cornish cross. These are our meat chickens that we're gonna butcher right after Easter. So they'll be about 8 weeks and about the week after Easter. So we are getting everybody set up in here, and we got a nice layer of shavings in there for them so they're able to scratch around. But let me tell you about it. So we had a fence built for our goats. So all of this lumber is completely free. And that's literally just because the guy had extra lumber and he was like, hey, do you think you're gonna need it? And I was like, maybe. And this whole setup was pretty much free from top to bottom. I even used extra screws that were in the rafters of our garage that weren't being used. The previous owner used them to like hang stuff on. I even used those screws to screw everything together. And then I also had a bunch of these little small screws to just kind of piece together. And that was from previous projects with the chicken tractor and all that. So the only thing I paid for, which is going to be the most expensive part of your build, is the hardware cloth. And I did like half-inch, quarter-inch. I did about half-inch squares. So you can do quarter-inch. You can probably get away with an inch too, but I liked how this looked and how it made the chicken brooder come together. The chicken brooder is a box setup. I mean, it is as simple as just an elevated box that I put some chicken wire on top of. I got 4 posts on the bottom. These are 4x4s, 4x4 posts that I cut. And then we had an extra piece of plywood just lying around. And I didn't even have to cut the plywood. I just screwed on the 4x4 posts, and they're about to my hip, and I'm about 5'10", so I don't know, about 3.5 feet tall, I guess. Somewhere around there, about 3 feet tall. I screwed in the plywood to the posts, and then did that on all 4 sides. And then underneath, I put some braces under there. I put some 2x4s that I had, just so nothing caved in, and that this was going to be sturdy enough for however many chicks that we wanted in here. I also laid down linoleum, so you can kind of see it peeking out right here. So we did linoleum because it's so easy, and I mean so incredibly easy to clean up all of the shavings when there's linoleum laying down. If you have animals, lay down linoleum. It protects the hardwood floors. It protects everything. And you can get linoleum cheap too. This we actually found and you can actually look at our how we built our chicken coop video. We found some linoleum in my wife's grandma's barn, and we've just been carrying that with us. And so when we moved to this property, we just carried the linoleum with us and laid that down all the way across, and it's worked on our chicken coop and now our chicken brooder, and we're about to build a goat barn. We're going to use some linoleum in that as well. It's just so easy. I cannot speak enough on linoleum for your chicken brooders or anything, whatever you have. Just make sure you have linoleum in there. Sets for easy cleanup. So after I screwed everything down and did that, I then put these boards right here. Again, just laid them across, screwed them underneath. They're 2x4s, And actually, a lot of them are different sizes, and because it was free wood, you kind of build with what you have. So that's what I did. I cut it to shape, and I wanted to make sure I could reach in and at least reach the middle. And as long as I could reach the middle, I knew I was fine. So I could reach the middle in there. And then I just made a box and have the 2x4 posts right here, or not posts, the 2x4 boards right here that I used. I mean, super, super simple. If I can build this, I promise you that you can build this. Simple tools. All I had was just a hand saw, or I had a circular saw, and a screwdriver and a drill gun. That's it. So you can do this, I promise. Now, lastly, we did not want our chicks, whenever they grew up, to hop out of the brooder, because they could still hop out. So I had some extra chicken wire laying around, and it fit perfectly across. So all I did was just cut it, and then I took some screws and just halfway screwed it in and attached and made the chicken wire tight. So I can lift this up like that, so I can go in, get their water, get chicks that need help, give them some B12 or whatever they need. So, not B12, what am I saying? What is that? Oh yeah, it is liquid B12. There you go. Yep, I had it. And vitamin K. This stuff is great. It helps with our chicks. I definitely recommend getting that. One thing that you need to think about for your chicken brooder setup is your heat source. We have them in this shed, and they're in the backyard. It obviously gets cold. Even though this place is insulated, it still gets really cold in here. And as a matter of fact, one of the first nights, we lost 6 chicks, and I know it was because they were cold, and we did not have enough heat. We have this heating plate back here, this orange heating plate. It has worked great. Here's the problem. If you have 25 chicks, it is too much. Even though it advertises that you could fit 30 chicks in there and they'll be fine and yada, 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 that's a lie. We have had chicks die, and I'm confident it's because they did not have enough heat source and they were not doing well enough, and they needed heat source. So we did the thing that everybody always recommends that we don't get. We got a heat lamp. Now, here is how you make sure that your heat lamp does not burn your stuff down. You just have to make sure about this. So we have screws on the very top of our heat lamp. So even if it slips, and you can kind of see it right there, even if it slips, there's no way it is going to fall into here, and there's no way it's going to touch any of the wood and burn anything down. So that's how we make sure that they're going to be okay. And we also have it high enough to where it's not touching anything. It's not going to kill any of the chicks because it's too warm. That's another thing that you want to make sure. You do not want it to be too warm everywhere. You want them to be able to get out and drink water and eat. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want there to be heat everywhere and this whole thing to be shining red and have heat lamps everywhere. Otherwise, your chicks will die from overheating, and that's not good. We also have that secondary heat, so if they want something a little bit closer to their back, they have that option as well. And then we just have that ambient heat where it just kind of warms everything and makes it a little bit more like a mother hen under them, or they're under a mother hen. It's been a while since I've done these videos. I'm getting used to it. Lastly, for your chicken brooder, you want to make sure that you put grit in with their food. This is very important. Again, we made a mistake the first time we had chicks of not having any type of grit, and so we had to get the pasty butt off. And any homesteader knows what pasty butt is. It's basically where the poop collects on the back of their butt. And you have to take a warm washcloth and basically just do circles and get it off. Otherwise, they get stopped up and they die. That's not fun. So one way you can prevent this, just guarantee. you can add grit into their food. So a lot of people will give it free source, totally fine. I find that it creates a huge mess because they're pecking through it and they're being chickens. They're pecking through it. They're learning how to scrape. I find that mixing it in with their food is the best option. So we don't heavily put it in there, but we put enough to where there's no pasty butt. And since we've been doing that and making sure that they have plenty of water, we don't have any problems with pasty butt. So I would definitely recommend doing that and just getting a big bag of grit. It's chick grit. It's small rocks is what it is. But get chick grit, put it in their food, mix it in well, and then give it to them. And I promise you, it'll be so much better for your farm. So definitely give that a try. If you're having trouble with pasty butt, you probably won't have trouble with pasty butt if you do. Alrighty, so that is a wrap on chicken brooder. Chicken brewing? Chicken brooder. That is a wrap on the chicken brooder. So thank you guys for tagging along with us. I cannot believe it's already almost spring. Spring is upon us, and get ready. Chick season's coming, so make sure you have your brooder set up perfectly for your little feathery friends. And one day you'll get a bunch of eggs. It'll be awesome. So stick with it, and we'll see you next time.